Really?
That's a lot.
What's going on?
Dealing with the family estate.
Oh, okay. So he inherited a castle over there.
I see. When you say a state,
That much more for, so,
Wow.
yeah,
You drive when you go over there?
oh, yeah. It's sport.
That was kind of the shock when I was immersed over there for, 12 days, driving on the right side of the road. I come back here, like it's looking weird, driving on the right side of the road.
You did drive over there.
Did you drive?
No, we didn't drive over, we're just saying riding the bus, and you come back here, whoa, kind of like, but even the driver.
I didn't drive an inch.
6
But I
speed,
changed the flat tire that last week.
6 speed manual transmission.
Yeah.
Scooting down little roads, it's the way to go.
Oh, the roads are so narrow over there
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely, got to experience some road rage between bus drivers, that was kind of cool.
It's the bigger one.
I was there, did it all.
Great, I mean,
I
the whole place, the only place I was kind of not comfortable in was Belfast.
Oh,
There's still too, even though they supposedly at peace there, you can just feel a lot of tension still there. We didn't stay there, we just drove through it, stopped at the Titanic and did it for a little bit just to take basically a potty stop.
Did you do Giants Causeway when you're there?
No,
What'd you do in Scotland?
oh, I don't even remember.
Which one?
Edinburgh, Glasgow,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, we went to Glasgow.
Glasgow, was great, Edinburgh was great, I mean, it was just a great experience.
yeah.
It was a 500-mile run. Up around the north coast.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be just the ticket to drive, if you're a driving person.
Then you were on a bus,
Yeah, we had a 40 person group.
okay. Was your group friendly?
Yeah, we did have some people from Wisconsin.
Hey. They were the fun people.
I wouldn't say that.
The lollygaggers.
I was a passenger going to Scotland the first time and was my daughter's mother-in-law's from Scotland. So I was in the back and then she crossed over this way to go to the exit I went. Are you getting it? I'm like,
I
oh,
mean,
that's right.
even the roundabouts are backwards too.
Yes, everything is backwards. I just
Everything is
close
backwards.
my eyes. Just enjoy the view.
But the food was great, they know how to do fish and chips properly over there.
Did you like the haggis?
And flew business class back. He's upgraded. Pricey,
How was that?
but it was extremely worth it.
Yeah.
I've never done it before, so.
What airline did you fly?
Airline.
Well, Lingus, that's right.
This is Milwaukee, yeah.
Dave, do you need a printed copy for today? Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
From Jug, very good.
Are you, where now? You just
wake up every morning at 4:00.
Where'd you come home from?
Huh?
Where were you guys at?
Europe, Switzerland, and then the Netherlands.
Yeah, you did Switzerland. Let's see.
So
Those
you
are
like
on-
it?
Yeah.
On your computer.
Yeah, it's.
So peaceful at home, just.
Okay, yeah, my-
Then you get
my-
to Amsterdam, we were in Ireland and Scotland, so those are perfect. Yeah.
Whenever we're looking at this one.
I think the next is fun.
Well,
We
I'll
don't-
pop over everything. Pretty wasn't coming.
It's funny.
Okay, now it's loading.
She sent me three.
Someone looked that I caught in the rain yesterday, I thought it was gonna be a disaster. They got it was so good.
The whole thing. The whole story's good.
I didn't have one looked at. I think I'm gonna have to have.
Why did did for all those farms?
Yeah.
And I thought,
Right. So
14 years, it's a good time to do it, and I got 100% speed.
The houses are just absolutely.
Same homes.
Right.
He didn't get down. Figure that one.
Who'd you have do it?
Oh, crap.
Oh, crap.
Very good.
Yeah, yeah.
There, Josh is a great guy.
Yeah.
And all those workers, superior, cleaned up so nice.
I just did. Didn't want.
You guys go if we are taking votes on amounts and you guys have a board position, you do have to abstain from votes on it, if that's what we.
Organization, like, the organization,
Yeah,
I have seen.
well, then you don't have a forum. Oh, no. It's
well,
for a quorum, wait, who's a voting? Tyler's vote and
No,
Carol.
no,
no,
No, these three,
we're all voters.
and then I think Corey,
is Rory coming, or did we see him?
I think that was his truck, so.
Okay,
But I'm a director, but
if the vote on it, the court takes on the cost, and if it's Main Street gets. I don't know, I could ask the attorney too, that's how we kind of determine things for the Eagle Center,
oh, that's right.
right? Cause they were on the Eagle Center board,
Yeah,
but.
okay, this.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think we're just hold on.
A minute, and then we'll start.
So, and Rob is not, she's not, he's, well, man, missing one. Can we vote yes or no, or not at all?
No, we
You
can't vote.
anything. Okay.
Yeah, you guys would have to abstain and.
Sure.
Yeah. And probably, we typically
Wouldn't do that.
say that you
Sure.
could present, but then abstain from the discussion too.
Sure.
But. Again, the way I had put it there, although it could be changed, I guess, is just, yeah, discussion. So.
We can bring it back for a vote
Yeah,
next time, and still have plenty of time.
I would prefer that, but
That's fine, we were just wanting to.
There he is.
Yeah, sorry, Mike.
You're right.
How do you vote, yes or no?
Say no.
Just go for the.
Is the fun deciding vote?
Can you guys?
All right,
The thing about the thing and.
The-
I'm just.
the thing about the thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's call the Wabasha Port Authority Meeting Development Agency to order for Tuesday, September 16.
I'm standing for the license.
All present except for Robin,
Mhm.
so that's great. Any public comments? Any eyes, anybody online?
Nope, and then if you guys are here about a specific item, we'll call on you then.
We'll
We
talk
talk,
about it.
talk now, yeah.
So hearing none of that, consent agenda, we have the meetings minutes from last month. The Port Authority financials, Bolton and Mink invoice. Terracon invoice. Vision Design Group, which is the website, and then a payout for a finished facade improvement project.
I have a simple question on the financials.
Yes,
So there's 400,000 here,
Yep,
what is that?
that's the interfund loan amounts that the general fund is giving to the Port Authority, so there's. Two $150,000 amounts and then a $100,000 $100,000 for. 100,000 total, that was to help cash flow the barge terminal until the grant fund or something, so. I don't know exactly when it will be paid back, but once we have efficient cash to pay back, then we'll make that payment back to the general fund.
Okay.
I think a point to notice is Bolton and Mink invoice is rather. Big, it has to do with the final engineering. For the terminal,
And I just put a note on there, that was our discussion at the last meeting,
Yeah.
is did we authorize all of that?
yeah,
We did, so,
we saw it coming, so
Yeah.
that's that. All right, any further discussion with respect to the consent agenda? Hearing none, a motion to approve.
So.
The first, need a second?
Second.
Got a first and a second for the discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
I.
Opposed, same sign. No old business, new business. Action on the Port Authority staffing and potential action on seated contract termination. First item on the agenda. Has anyone everybody had the opportunity to kind of review the notes in the packet with respect to this? Dave, did you get a chance to?
I didn't,
Okay.
no.
I kind of teed off a little bit, so we're here tonight, Kathy Anderson, who we worked with for some time now, is no longer with CETA. It gives us an opportunity to kind of think about what we want to do going forward. Kathy's separation from CETA was rather sudden and unexpected. On our part, we didn't see it coming. We had the opportunity, myself, Caroline Tyler and the mayor to meet with who CETA thinks would be a good representative for us. In the notes here, it kind of talks a little bit about her past experience, some of our concerns, her depth of knowledge with respect to the kind of projects that we're working on currently. And it also talks a little bit about kind of my personal position on how I'm feeling about CETA currently. And I believe the mayor and Robin, who's not here tonight, but is also spoken with, is feeling about CETA. We got guys in the audience right now. You guys want to come up and chat a little bit, and we can talk about kind of where you guys see CETA helping the city going forward, and what sort of safeguards we have for some consistency going forward.
So I'll start with an introduction. My name is James Hankey. I serve as the Chief Operating Officer for CETA. And basically work with a team of, CETA currently has a team of 54 individuals, working within the company in various facets. I kind of oversee and manage our community support program, which is where we provide these staffing services to communities such as Waukesha. And we do that, excuse me, throughout Minnesota, the western part of Wisconsin, and into Iowa. So want to just start by, kind of sharing a couple of things, and I think acknowledging, two critical pieces. I think, John, you indicated that, Kathy's departure was unexpected for the community, and we certainly acknowledge that it was unexpected for us as well, and was not a desired outcome, on our part. But we, know that we have team members who will stay with us. We know that we have team members who will elect to leave. When they leave, we wish them well. But the show must go on. And so, one of the things that we as an organization have done over the course of the last year is, implemented a new organizational structure that really allows us to better serve and better provide the staffing capacity to the communities that we serve. Which is why, you've been working very actively. I know Carolyn, for instance, had talked with Hillary Tweed, who is our vice president of Minnesota operations on the CSP side. I know you've been working very closely with Chris, who is the regional manager for, this general area. And I also know that you've had an opportunity to meet the individual who we would contemplate putting into this position. So, I indicated there were two things. One is I wanted to acknowledge that, kind of what's transpired. The other is, as we go back and we look at the history of staff that we have placed in this community, it's been a little bit of a revolving door. And I want to acknowledge that. I don't think there's any reason for us to shirk that reality. It's fact, And I think the organizational structure that we have currently put in place is designed very specifically to mitigate that. Our employee retention is up significantly. We are in a much better position to serve the communities that we serve through this program that we developed over the course of the last 4 years. So we want to acknowledge the challenge. We want to acknowledge the shortcomings. It was not a desired outcome. We also know that, again, that show must go on, and, we're here to, offer the opportunity for you to, continue to participate and continue to work with us. We certainly value, the relationship that we've developed with the community. And we certainly would be very interested in continuing, of course, that relationship moving forward. I think the individual staff person that we've identified is quite phenomenal. It was a very exciting hire for us as an organization. I know that you may have had some chances to check references with other communities that she's working in, as of course Chris has, and you know, the reviews have been incredibly strong and we're quite excited about her ability to, you know, come in and, you know, take over and, you know, continue to manage the contract in a positive way for us at CETA.
So, thanks, appreciate that.
Any more questions that you guys have?
Any questions? So, I'm not gonna belabor the staffing, that's what happened, but you are very aware that I think everybody that we've had here, right, no longer works for CETA as well. So, I mean, not just us here, but it seemed like they weren't a good fit for CETA as well. And it's been disruptive, and again, I don't wanna belabor that, but I think it's probably important for all of us for me to share that with everybody, in my opinion. I guess some of the discussion that we need to have at this point is, you know. We have an opportunity at this juncture, Kathy's not with them anymore. We're at kind of a point now with some of our projects that we can maybe take a step back. Do we take a step back for a little bit? Rethink our needs for a Port Authority specialist or director, or whatever you want to call that person. I think Shane, you guys call them directors, right? But the kind of role. So we have opportunity suddenly to maybe consider where we want to go for the next quarter. And maybe put RFPs and PAs out and invite CETA to be one of those people to contribute to RFP. What are our thoughts? What do we think? And I'll share this, Katrina, I thought the person, the candidate they have was very dynamic, and I a good hire, right? I think she hit all of the marks that you would expect in an interview. I thought she interviewed quite well for us, and sometimes that's kind of hard to do, certainly in a Zoom call. I look at you because you were there with the with it's all. But I don't know if it's anything new, right? And I don't know if she would be the right fit for us, given what our projects are currently, you know, our rather extensive housing that we're looking at doing in the very near future, kind of wrapping up these other grants that are pretty big with the feds and the state. And then this most recent award with another state grant. So I don't know where we'd be at with that. So we have some options.
I'll just add, I did talk to the St. Charles City Administrator, and she's been there for 3 months, but was a go-getter, picked stuff up rather quickly, did the business outreach. They were also on the brinks of terminating with CETA. And then Katrina came, so I think as long as Katrina's there, they feel good. But if there's continual turnover, they may be where we're at now, which is, are we ready to, you know?
See what else is out there.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I think there's a number of us on this group right here that have championed CETA for years before CETA became, started working for us. So really believed in the product and believed in the idea behind it. So that's not gone, I don't think. I just think this gives us an opportunity maybe to look something different, and then.
So I'm just gonna say that. Yeah, I think we need somebody to fill that slot. But I'm wondering about the salary, because it is over 50 grand. And then when Catherine started, Caroline.
It's okay.
When she started,
Getting there too, don't feel bad.
she was under 100.
Yeah.
She's over that now, I'm sure, I don't know, but. So this person works 1 day a week. Probably works more on the side, I'll grant that. You work 5, 6 days a week, you do an excellent job.
And then the night.
At the end of the night.
Right.
Yeah,
And text messages to prove that.
so, I just think the price is a little too high for what we're getting. I'm not faulting Kathy for anything she provided, but Still thought it was.
So that's interesting. So I think, we look at. And this is essentially a consulting role, right? It's a specialist role, right? So kind of a more premium dollar for that high impact. What we're getting out of that person, right? I think is appreciable. We're not paying any legacy costs, anything like that. It is a contracted. Here are the specific goals, meet the goals kind of thing. You could go ahead.
Could I share this?
Yeah.
I think two elements that are important. As you're looking at that salary comparison, I think it's important to understand that the contract that you're providing that we're providing for you is fully loaded. So it's salary for employees, it's benefits, so it's health insurance, it's, vacation, I mean, it's, retirement benefits, it's, a fully loaded package. So I just thought it might be helpful to clarify that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm happy to sit down, and if there are other questions, I'd be more than happy to respond to
Should
those.
stay up for.
You can sit.
Okay.
We know where you're
I
at.
don't mind standing, because
Go ahead, sit down.
I'm.
You're not going anywhere. So Craig, I think you make a good point, and Shane's absolutely right. I mean, we are paying a flat fee and they're taking care of all the backside of it, so we do pay a little more. But we also do pay for performance, a higher rate of performance for intensive, work done while that person is working on behalf of our city, right? And so theoretically, very specific and defined items, roles. So yeah, there's that part of this. And I don't know, and again, if we put an RFP out, I don't know what we would get. I mean, are we getting a good price? We don't know that.
For comparison, we do pay also like $50,000 for like a planning consultant, so.
We do,
Chris, that's what Christie gets
Yeah,
for the
Christie,
city.
not the port, city does pay about 50,000 a year for a planning consultant.
for who?
Planning consultant.
Yeah, but who is she?
Christie Trisco.
Oh. Oh.
Anyways,
Yeah,
You know her, she's
I
been.
know her,
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
okay. Alright,
I'd be interested to hear other people's opinions. I've been.
I say option two. Let's just see what's out there.
Dave, what are your
Well,
thoughts?
I agree with both of you that we're at a point now where they've done so much for us. But we're almost there and we really don't need it at this time, I think. I mean, with all our projects.
So I would argue that I think we need somebody. Okay? Listen, and my position would be, it gives us an opportunity to consider that role more deeply. When we hired Caroline, she's the city administrator, she's not the Port Authority manager. So, and a lot of her expertise kind of falls into this, certainly in the housing part of it, and grants. But she's got the bigger picture, so we wanna have somebody that I think can really touch base with Caroline and Tyler and say, these are the things, here's where I'm at with that, here's what's going before Port. And I think
but I think in either case, Dave's point is, then we have a discussion, do we wanna continue, and then if we do, bid it out?
Yeah.
And what does that role look like? And Dave, you're saying you feel like sure we need that role.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. At this point
Yeah.
at our ventures, that we're almost there and. Once we get into new ventures, if we ever get these 2-3 projects
finished.
over the final, finish.
I will say there's things that we would have never done without capital.
Correct.
Like the
She's-
livability survey, convincing the whole community to let us give up the transfer building. I couldn't have done that on my own. I was too new and I was like, oh, well, thanks to Courtney too. He was willing to support that as well. Let's get rid of Grandpa's barn. So there were definitely things that we couldn't have done without CETA, but I guess your point is,
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
complete what we have.
yeah.
And we're not there yet. I mean, it just takes forever to finish these projects. I mean, hopefully by the time we get
Childcare.
off this board.
Two, looking at Corey, childcare. No,
Yeah.
I don't have time to think about childcare.
And that
Thanks to
success
Kathy,
was.
we did a
yeah,
grant program.
That was amazing.
Yeah, got them to preschool, it was great.
Yeah.
Corey, were you gonna say something though?
My question was just like with CEDA has done, I mean, is there anything that we like is glaring to you for like that city staff couldn't handle from like an outreach standpoint? Is there something we'd be giving up that we wouldn't be able to provide?
Well, I think the one thing that I'm worried, yeah, that we don't have time for is the business outreach or, trying to get a new loan pool seated and then running a loan program. And then we are trying to stand up a new grant program for housing. And Kathy originally was gonna help me work out the details. I think I can do that, but like, you know, that those outreach are kind of the things that CETA brought to us.
You know, for watch is a big part of that
Yeah.
thing, right? You know?
She's been invaluable on
Yeah,
watch, I mean,
look at what we've gotten done with
Right.
that, you know? So there are some things that are gonna slip unless we figure out how to. And. I advocate, always have advocated that we need some kind of specialist specific to the port, be it 1 day a week, 2 days a week, whatever it is. I don't think that should go away. I'm just asking, does it make sense, since we have this sudden opportunity to kind of think about this? You know, all of us with Kathy, we just, you know, head down and work. You know, now it's kind of, sorry, go ahead.
Can I ask a question quick?
Yeah.
What are you guys contracted for time-wise for CETA currently?
Two
2 days?
days a week.
Okay. I was in your situation about 6 years ago. In working with CETA, we found that, and even if you look at this from a business standpoint, an employee can't be effective within a 2 day time period. So we actually extended our contract with CETA out to, I think we started at 3 days and worked all the way up to 5 days. And once you hit that 3 day mark, there's a lot more production that gets done in those 3 days. And even more within the 4th and 5th day. And the reason why I say that is because we were also looking at, you know, do we hire in somebody to run our economic development or go with CETA or stuff like that. And we came to the conclusion that CETA was a better fit for us just because not only did we have somebody on staff for multiple days a week, but we also had the entire CETA Foundation that was backing them up. You know, so if they had questions on, I'll use grant writing for an example, and they kind of struggled with that, there was somebody else in that CETA corporation that could pick up the slack and help out with that. And then the other thing too is, these guys are right, if you were to take and bring somebody in and you started them out at $50,000 a year, you've got all that added extra cost with vacation and health insurance and everything else that comes on top of it. And when you guys were presented with somebody from CETA at your interview that you did, how many people were submitted to you for review for that position?
Just one.
You need to ask for more.
Yeah.
Because we went through a total of 4 different people that we interviewed, and our 4th one was submitted.
Good points, thank you.
Thanks, Courtney.
Yeah, we would look to contract with somebody like CETA going forward. And we've grown from 1 day a month to whatever we are at this point already. I mean, we saw that. And I think a lot of that had to do with like Kathy's skill sets. I mean, we got what we needed at the 2 days a month with her. That might not, go ahead.
I think my impression is there's one candidate that's available to start immediately, is that accurate? And we didn't ask, I doubt that there's 5 people available to start immediately, because, yeah, so.
At this time, there's not, I mean, we would have to take that back and that would be where the RFP would come in for something like that, but.
Okay.
Yeah, we could effectively cover the 2 days with Katrina.
Yeah.
But beyond that, yeah, I mean, if you say we wanna add a 3rd day. Then we'd have to look at that, and I respect the position, as we talked about this too, we don't wanna be splitting contracts, I know you've done that in the past. You want one person to be part of your team. I respect that position, and I understand why, because I know what the history of that's been
Yeah.
too, so yeah, that would be something where we would have to reevaluate if there was more.
Can I say something? I think that what we need is someone who's matching, the needs of what we want now. Is to continue on with the housing project, understand the barge, the revolving, the bridge, federal grants. So we have to have a candidate or the next person cover our needs and not just do a fill-in. Until that person shows up, so maybe a request for proposal out there for the right consultant, whether it's CETA or not, going forward, because we're already past A and B, we're ready to, we're in the middle of a project.
That's-
We're ready to
Or the same way I feel.
break ground and, run with it without putting it on your shoulders or Tyler's. We have to have an expert in housing, an expert in federal grants.
We're there almost, is what I'm saying. We've already
Yeah.
worked ourselves up to
They
it.
gotta pick it up and run with it, just like Kathy had done.
I don't think we're
Unless-
gonna lose it though.
No, but
By not
I don't
having
know
it.
if we need to be training somebody to do that either.
Oh, well,
They
we're
have-
paying a lot of money to train someone.
Well, yeah, then it's a nice process too, and I think that the applicant looked really excited, but when I didn't see some of the needs that you need right now to continue it, there's another person out there.
Yeah, I personally, me and Tyler did really like her. But we also think it may be wise, given the differing opinions we're hearing. To issue an RFP and actually regroup on what we want out of that person and take our time versus. A quick decision, I guess, so. Yeah. So, and then we can kind of compare,
What we have in front of us.
interview more than one candidate, I
All right.
guess, yeah, yeah.
Any other?
She was an excellent hire. Tyler and I would be like, if we had a job opening, we'd hire her, but the
Great,
thing we
great phone.
discussed is. There is a little bit of a disadvantage of feeling like we will train them and then that training belongs to CETA, it doesn't belong in the city of Waukesha. So,
Can I
Yes.
speak to that?
Yes.
Because I think that the training element is an important piece, and it's something that we invest very heavily in with our team. If you talk to any of our team members, they will share with you that, they have professional development goals, that we are investing in their professional development. We are, doing a variety of things both in-house and out-of-house. In fact, later this week, we have 9 of our team members that are attending the basic economic development course, up in Duluth. We make significant investments in their training, so our.
who sponsors that course?
That's EDAM, the
Okay.
Economic Development Association of Minnesota. It's
Okay.
sanctioned by IEDC, which is the International Economic Development Council. And it's the initial course to get your community and economic development certification. So we make those significant investments in their professional development. And furthermore, we have put the structure in place so that we are accountable and responsible for training and working with our team members to ensure that they're meeting your needs. So we do not have any expectation that you as a community are going to be responsible for training our team members. They are responsible for understanding the plan of work and the expectation that the community has in terms of its core priorities. And then it's our responsibility as a company, as CETA, and frankly, Chris's responsibility as the manager, You know, to ensure that that individual has the skill set, the wherewithal, the knowledge, the support to effectuate. So I just wanted to clarify that because I didn't want you to have the impression that you would be responsible for training a new employee.
I think we talked a lot about, even with all the best training in the world, there's still gonna be training on where we're at with all of our
Correct.
projects in the history and the relationships, et cetera. And I think some of the discussion is, if we're gonna have to do that regardless, let's do an interview process, cause it's basically like we're starting over. I think with some previous transitions, the person that was the former was available to train the new CETA member. There wasn't like a abrupt change like this one, so. Yeah, but like I said. Seemed like a quick learner and, yeah. So,
So,
Right.
this is an action required, we've got it.
we need a motion.
Yeah, we need a motion, if we make a motion, the motion would be to give 30-day notice to CETA. If no motion, then essentially we just continue on, there'll be no action, we continue with CETA as we go. So I'd look for a motion to give notice to CETA to terminate the contract. And if I don't get a motion for that, then we'll move forward with accepting CETA's proposal for a new staff member.
I'll make a motion,
For
terminate.
terminating,
Second.
we have a first and a second, is there any further discussion with respect to this? All right, hearing none, all in favor? Post same sign. Motion carries. Thanks, you guys.
Well, thank you.
All right, let's move on to the next item. Milligan Street lot and Main Street lot inquiries.
Okay. We have determined to not to list Main Street at this time. That was our decision last month. We did receive an award for $275,000 for grants to builders or someone who wants to build a home, so $50,000 per property is what was decided. But the funding has not been released. I've already been in touch from one person about being interested in starting construction as soon as possible, and I just advised you're gonna have to wait until spring to build. They wanna build a duplex in Wabasha. And
Thank
so
you.
we did get that Milligan Street offer for the basically manufactured trailer home. And the stipulations that we had discussed was that it should be not. It couldn't be on piers. And then the owner said it's gonna be on piers. So I just wanted to say, like, and I don't even understand it quite what I'm talking about, but Kathy understood it, which again, she's not here, but. Just kind of, I think at this time, we'll probably just let this person know we're gonna pass, and then the decision was. Let's make our grants available and we see if someone wants to build a house
Yeah, I
there.
agree.
Well, this is, they're gonna put piers and skirting around rather than the foundation. So, and it's not gonna,
And I'll let them know, the committee is open if you're gonna put it on a foundation, but not piers and skirting.
yeah,
We gotta be footings and
Okay,
yeah, right,
basement's no big deal.
right.
okay.
Okay, so there's that one.
So can you explain that? Who gets the 275 and where does it? come
Yeah,
from?
I didn't understand. what
Okay.
it-
Do you remember the tier 2 grant that we submitted?
For testing soils or?
No,
I-
the tier 2 grant, what we conceived of is. We asked the state of Minnesota, give the city of Wabasha $275,000 and we'll administer $50,000 grants. To people that wanna build a home in Wabasha, either for rent or to
Long-term
occupy.
rental. Or
Yeah.
It just seems like a large amount for,
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, that's.
No, so, but the reason why, so 50 grand, what that does is, sorry,
Go ahead. Maybe council for this.
No, I mean, we did,
Okay.
but it went quick, it was like,
Heard about the grant, but I didn't know.
we had an opportunity and it was like, we gotta make that happen. Made the decision, it went in before even our next meeting, that's how fast it had to happen.
Yeah,
So with 50,000, what that does is that drives down that capital stack, right? So they can sell that house at a little cheaper price, or they can rent that house at a little less price, so.
well, what's keeping them from charging
Pocketing.
normal? I mean, are they tied by what they can charge?
So,
Oh, yeah.
so.
Sure, they're gonna build it
In
cheaper.
one, in the rental case, they have to show us and commit to workforce rents, just like we made Keller Burton
Correct, but
into.
it's the selling it.
And then if they sell it. Those would require that they add on. Income restrictions on those. I'm gonna work with the state to make those income restrictions as high as and flexible as possible. But theoretically, we'll have to work with them to say, you can't build $1 million house or even probably a $500,000 house. We were talking like a $200,000 to $300,000
Yeah.
home. And that would be considered affordable. So that there are requirements that you can't build a $500,000 house and get a $50,000 grant. I think we'd love that. That would be tons of tax base, but from the perspective of the state of Minnesota, it's for workforce housing. Yeah, so. I think it's gonna be a bit complicated to administer, so that was the thing. I've got draft guidelines ready to go. I need to look through those and probably present those at the next meeting or two. To just have us really dive into it. And just make sure that it makes sense, but. Part of it is I wanna see what the state of Minnesota is gonna require of us before we spend too much time on it, but that was. What we learned is that it could be for workforce rental or workforce housing, so. And then we come up with definitions about thinking about what's an average income earner.
So workforce, you're saying this can't be a rental or. This can't be somebody just building a summer home.
No,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Correct.
We'll have to, it's not for summer homes, it's not for your second home, it's the home that somebody occupies, yeah,
I do for good grant, I mean,
yeah.
yeah, jump right
So
on
we
it.
have
Right.
50,000, so we have multiple.
And the goal was to engage some of our,
Be 5 homes, I mean.
and it's to engage some of our local builders, you know, that.
If we
And
find
if
lots,
we-
put it up.
And if Caroline administers it, or the city does, then that helps them. Get through that paperwork a little bit, that gets confusing, so that was the goal behind it.
So where does the money come from? Was it the state?
State of Minnesota, yep, we applied for a grant.
When do we get it?
We are, what I told the builder that asked, I said, expect we could administer and hopefully give out money next spring. So I'm thinking this winter to work out things with the state of Minnesota and then target like March. I think March is when we launched our HVAC grant program, so, yeah.
How would it affect somebody that is currently a resident of Wabasha and wanted to activate a different lot and move from where they're currently?
I think, so that's where you could take advantage of the grant. You could want to build in Wabasha and take advantage of it. That's where I've gotta make sure that income is as flexible as possible. And see what the state would allow us to do. But I think last look at it, it was like a combined income of 100,000 or something, 120,
That's
so.
interesting.
But I will double check that, and that will be key, is that if that person wants to build and move, they may have to meet those income restrictions. But like I said, I will try to make it as flexible as possible, but
So they can build on the Milligan lot, they can build out by.
Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, build, buy. Something, I mean, I thought of reaching out to Bigelow Homes because at this point. They're not finishing the construction of all their twin homes because they haven't sold the ones they've started. So they can't apply for this to all the ones they started. But if this would help them start building and finish their project, theoretically, they could use it for that too, so. So it's great news.
Yep.
I just, Kathy was gonna administer the program, so. But I think we'll be okay. We're gonna have more discussions and like I said, I feel very comfortable working on this. It's just gotta fall in line with all the other things happening, so.
All right, next item.
Yep.
2026 Main Street Chamber, bike share, food share, discussion today.
And the mayor did ask me, food share doesn't belong on here. She's not even sure if it's legal, and I don't know if bike share belongs on here or not.
I got bike share.
We have that covered
Yeah.
because
Is
it's
it-
called Choose
Okay.
Sustaining.
With Rotary.
Okay.
There's someone else paying for that.
Rotary.
No one drives them things anyway.
I've never seen one.
I've
of
never
those.
seen one go by their way. Yeah,
So-
fine.
So
What's the
this is,
usage?
the discussion is just Main Street and Chamber, and it said. Council has asked if Port Authority is able to take on the Main Street and Chamber contributions.
Do we have any money to do this? I mean, we're in debt.
Tipping fee.
We have all the grant. I don't know.
I think bikes, the cities, we're counting on the city for a third of that $1,000.
Yeah.
Oh, the bike stuff isn't,
Yes,
isn't
covered.
part
We're
of
not,
it.
we're getting
That's
done.
not
Between street and chamber.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so 21,000.
I think it goes back to the question, which I feel like we answered maybe even in our last one, where it's. We do plan to at some point absorb it, but is now the right
Well,
time.
that's just what,
That's, I think.
once we get the floor, we'll have
Both.
projects we can do.
So where are we at right now, and what loans have we drawn, and what loans there that are on our books that we haven't drawn from?
The big ones, the 400,000 to the general fund.
Drawn on that 100%?
No, we haven't drawn on it at all. Cause we've had cash flow to pay it out of our own checking.
It's in for,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not like we've spent out of that.
no, we owe it back or something.
So that 400 is not, we haven't spent it,
No,
so without the 4, where are we at cash flow wise? Cause we were 5
so
or 6 or.
without the 400, you'd be like 123.
Okay. And are we gonna, are we doing it all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're at 523, right?
Right, but you're saying if we didn't have the,
Oh, but that doesn't include the 400. Does this include the 400? That's not with it in there. Cause it was 523 before we added the 400.
oh, okay, that was. Yeah, okay, this is as of August 31st, so we have added more, so yes. Okay, so the interfund loan money was moved in September, and this is as of August 31st, so I have to pull.
So as of August,
Say, yeah.
without the interfund, we had 523,000 in our bank account. We just are gonna draw on 250 of that, so roughly 250 is gonna remaining, but they're still gonna interfund loan. I think the taking off the entire levy was the larger amount, but we did do some financial projections to say you could even take on $64,000 and be okay next year. This is like 21,000, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20.
So.
And then the other thing is. We worked with the Army Corps to do another fall haul, so we will probably have another $250,000 of income come in by the end of 2025. So that will. Cover,
Those two, Main Street and Chamber, they're economic development entities. That's what the Port Authority is, we should be paying for
Agreed.
it, that's the big, my
Well, as
big.
long as we have the money, it's
Yeah.
good for us in the community to
Yeah.
show that we're doing projects. And we'll do more when this.
Yeah.
Everything evolves, we'll have money.
Just a heads up, we're having a hard time making ends meet with the 6,000, so we're planning on asking for more.
We need to
Save
get
that
to
for
10.
about 5 years from now.
No, we
It
can't.
won't be able to stay open.
Oh, that's life.
Well, it's not, we actually.
Yeah,
have a big
we do a lot
impact
for
on
the, for the
Main Street, and I
cities.
I have a back handout.
So how do we wanna do, I agree, these are economic development items, and I think that is something the Port Authority should take on. End of story there. These are not general fund city council things, so there are things. And we are in a position more than ever before to be able to afford these. Are we, it sounds like you guys,
I have a little background.
little background. Corey, did you have any background you want to talk about tonight, or do you want to save that and do kind of a presentation for next meeting?
It's up to you guys. Can I ask a question though?
Yeah.
How much money does the Port Authority have out right now in loans?
100 grand.
And then what do you guys have available for economic development type loans?
It's for like gap loans. We will get like 30,000.
30,000,
Yeah,
we need to
So
receive
you
that.
guys are
program.
pretty low on funds then on that side.
Yeah.
We were doing well. I have a philosophy that it doesn't do any good sitting in our bank account. Unfortunately, with the change in things, we thought we could spend it and then show that we had a lower balance to get it reseated. But then we tried to reseed it, and that was something else he did for us is apply, and now all that money is frozen with the administration, so we haven't been able to reseed the fund.
Gotcha.
and we were told that we would be able to, but. You know. September of 2025 is very different when that statement was made, so leave it at that. But all of our loans are current and they're being satisfied, so that's
I
good.
will, so it's not like that anyone has proactively told us, I desperately need a loan either, come forward. I mean, I'm sure if we marketed it, and like, the only one is the Anderson House, and we've already given them a loan. And no one else has necessarily come forward and asked, so I think if we had a specific project, I feel like we'd have a compelling case. But we've never been able to just exactly say who would even use our loans, because we don't have a.
You know, and too, Corey, we've had bigger projects, right? And we've been able to go out for funding for that on behalf of that project, you know,
Yeah.
so I mean, it's, our revolving loan fund is low. But that doesn't mean if we had a bigger project come before us, that we couldn't figure out a way to make that happen.
Right.
Or I think that we, in the past, been able to figure that out. I don't, because we use USDA as an example. So I don't know if we'd be able to do that again this time, but there's probably other lending out there that we could do. Yeah. Well, we're not gonna get the next Polaris plant. It's just not gonna happen, so.
Yeah.
But we'll be able to fund the next,
Card processing.
what? Well, we did that too, right? And we got our money back finally on that, but,
Let's stick in the same.
Like,
Yeah.
for example,
let's stick to fix it card or something.
California Overland is doing a business expansion with a truck wash, but they self-funded that, so.
Yeah.
They didn't ask for money. But.
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard, is the hospital also doing a pharmacy?
They have a pharmacy.
They're just,
I think there's a
I-
relocation included in the expansion maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think they'll just be moving it within.
yeah, they're just doing a big expansion.
Big one. 20,000 square feet.
yeah, big rehab center.
Yeah, it's physical therapy,
Yeah.
everything will move into it, but it's good, it's been a 7-year project, and these inflation just keep backing
Eating
up,
it up.
it's one of our projects. Never end.
So what do we wanna do with, this? Do we wanna have these guys give us a presentation, justify, how do we feel about it
If you
right
think
now?
we have money for it, then why shouldn't we? And that's acceptable.
No, we do have the money.
We're here for it. And that's the two,
Yeah,
I think fund them as is, and then like Craig and Mary are saying, if there is that point where it isn't enough, then we go to that presentation.
yeah,
or
Well, do we present for who then?
us.
But we can't get a quorum vote because we're part of it,
So
so.
we got.
Four right now.
We have four, oh, okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
I just feel bad because I didn't prepare it on the bring a presentation in front of you.
Well, and this is discussion, so we can't,
Okay.
we couldn't do anything about it tonight.
Okay,
I just wanted to do just a little history, can I do that on Main Street?
Absolutely.
Main Street was in Wabasha from 94 to 96 at the tune of 15,000 a year from the EDA.
oh, okay,
And we're 30 years later and we're getting 6. That's not enough. We're the lowest paid investment as a public-private partnership in the state of Minnesota. And I'm the only unpaid volunteer, I'm not asking to be paid. We do what we do because we've made a difference downtown. Your $6,000 investment in the last 5 years has brought $300,000 finances to our downtown by me writing grants and bank borrowing and getting sponsorships for multiple projects. So your return on investment is huge. And the total committed over 7 years is less than 50,000. So I think we six-folded it in physical improvements in your downtown, so. That's why we do what we do, because there wasn't a planter on Main Street, a banner, a bench, tree, a historic plaque, there was nothing downtown. So we decided to pick up and go back to what we used to do in the 90s. And we had full support of the city back then to a much bigger tune than what we're getting now. So we need value, we bring value, we'd like value to be respected.
What's the request then?
Minimum of 10 that could keep our office open. When we're accredited, we have to go through training and education for our staff, not our staff, for our board. And and we have to have house and office, which we share with our Jack, because we can't even afford the full office, so we split rents. We're at the minimum you can be, bare bones it, where our membership is small because we want investors, not members, or a nonprofit. I've been requested by other nonprofits in town who don't have their status to be their fiscal agent. I'm like, what does that entail for work on Craig, the treasurer, or me? And we're gonna be a pass-through for a bunch of people who might be like, wow.
So we're
We're
gonna,
at that level already, so,
at the start of the year, we have $3,000 in dues we have to pay.
and that's what you guys give us the
The
money
Main
for.
Street Association, it's a national association, and there's a state fund too, and the state takes most of it.
So yes,
We used to get money back from the state. This last year, we didn't get any money back.
because of what's happening on the federal level, but they're turning, they're giving us a Maestro program, which is gonna take tons of hours of database investment. Put every building in the Main Street district online and work with somebody who just got the link today. It's gonna put in a ton of required.
So let me stop forgive me for breaking your train of thought. I asked this question because I was it. So. As. What? As a Main Street affiliate, right? Call it that.
Total Cities affiliate.
Yep, so that then gives you opportunity to get this grant funding.
No, 501c3 status is what we have, gets grants. We have training and the title of the Wabash on Main Street. We can't call ourselves a Main Street without being accredited, affiliated, and jump through the required hoops of the 4-point project, getting training,
Right,
so
but,
35-page
We have to pay for an office, we have to pay for a website.
Right, so, but
Yeah, we're part of the Rethos umbrella.
is it because you're accredited with Main Street that you are able to apply for these grants?
No,
So, okay,
well, yes, we can't apply for grants if we call ourselves Wabash on Main Street and we're not affiliated with the national and the state.
that's my point.
Yeah. and we
So-
have to
so you
test
could not-
Strategies.
Had you not been
Oh,
a
yeah,
Main Street member,
this
right?
none of that would have happened.
None of that would have happened.
None of it.
All right,
None of it.
that was where. I was
Yeah,
at.
because then you'd be like calling yourselves another little community group and you have no foundation, no backbone, no guidelines, no path. And we knew this path was out there because we had done it in the 90s and it's successful. And it's been successful across the United States 40
So
plus
we're
years.
501c3, so we can support artists that wanna do things.
And other organizations now.
We've had 2 murals painted, one of them is stored in the city garage. But that's gonna go up, well, probably somewhere, probably by the middle school. But we've got a number of things, we fronted the money for the planters, people do pay the $200 per year to put new things in the planters. And they paid for the planter, but the reason that people could afford those planters, that we bought 26 of them at a time.
Yeah,
So we got a hell of a deal on it. If you buy them individually, it just about doubles. But we've got a number of things. We do the Christmas thing. So we gather people down there. we've got about a half a dozen volunteers, nobody's getting any money back, and there's no benefits really. We just do it because we wanna make Waukesha a nice place to live. And it's a historic place, I'm trying to get a historic sign on the highway right now, which is,
Working on the wrong MnDOT signs.
yeah, it says historic district. Come
Well,
in here.
sure, it's started downtown.
So hopefully we can get more people drawn into the downtown, especially if we get the bypass that goes through the. Athletic field.
I have just a handout if you want it, I don't know if everybody wants it, it just breaks it down by. From a $5,000 project to an $80,000 project over the last 8 years, so,
That would be beneficial.
okay, here we go.
Can you get money from the Waukesha Kellogg Foundation or the Rotary, or why not?
Well, we do 300, 500, 1,000 for the
We
big
get-
projects, cause our
we get-
projects are 20, 30, 40,000.
No, just like,
$5,000 a year.
instead of getting 6,000 or 10,000 from
No,
us.
we have to be signing a MOU with a city to become a main street, and we did that, 8 years ago, and so we continue to sign that memorandum.
But if you
Understanding,
if you want 10 grand, can't you get 4,000 from those two groups?
no, because it has to be towards, well, we get it for the other projects we're doing to fix downtown, because the city is not spending the money on these projects. They're not buying planters, they're not buying
Easier.
banners, they're not buying a lot of things. This is what we purchased downtown. Before Main Street was here, we didn't have anything downtown. Besides the old benches that Sumani painted. That was it. The banners were almost empty too. So when we did the new streetscape, we bought 52 new banners and we paid out of pocket for that, or we wrote grants. I can't keep asking the local businesses for thousands of dollars when they support bikes, so they support the community roots mural. I mean, we can't always put our hand out to the businessman who can't keep donating either. Of the $50,000 Paul Brun grant, we had a business downtown as a recipient. SVJ will be signing her paperwork. She's getting $50,000 and her investment is 5. She had a 10% match, and I'm gonna have a second round happening at the end of October. If we weren't to Main Street, we wouldn't get that grant because it's from the federal, that comes from the state. And we're part of national and state Main Street, so our businesses downtown get opportunities like that. That's huge.
And it's because of Main Street
Only
affiliation.
because we're affiliated and we're part of the national and the state Main Street program. But all of these are huge numbers, on a $6,000 budget from the city, and 3 goes to the dues. So we have 3 from you, and our office costs 3 from Relvin to rent. And between the rent and the insurance, it's 3. So the rest of what we do, we have to beg, borrow and steal, or just beg and borrow and write grants, but that's running dry too. I can't keep going back to Community Development Foundation unless we have a major project. I have a $12,000 grant written in for Smith for the Big Joe Presenter Series, and I have another 5 or 6 I have to ask for CMAQ to fill in the blanks, and then we have to add all of our hours to do a match, because we don't have the match, we're at 0. We're under 1,000 by the end of the year. Next year, we're -5.
Do you, just throwing out questions, I think the work that Mary does on a volunteer basis is amazing and outstanding, and one question I had is there an opportunity where we contribute the 6, but then on a project specific basis that we come up with, rather now that we contribute the 4 to say Waukesha Port is sponsoring this aspect of our work? Would that be helpful?
To get a sponsorship for the next project.
Like, and it could be something that we say, the Waukesha Port is just sponsoring this thing.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
it'd be a base payment plus anything that.
Plus a sponsorship of a project, and if I get funded, the next project will be the Big Joe Presenter Series. Opening the amphitheater free to the public for multiple.
I'm just trying to sense, is the additional 4 that you need because of covering dues in office, or is that covered by the 6? You need the 4 to stand up some projects you're doing.
We need the 4 for training and development, we need
Okay.
it for website updates, we need it
Okay.
for publicity, Christmas,
Yeah,
sustaining the bike shares, the printing of the brochures for the bikes.
so it's not,
We've
there's
spent
not a way to.
$15,000 on a $4,000 project, so we're like,
All the little bitty things that.
but it's
Okay.
sustaining it, putting back the community roots mural, we gotta build a backdrop, I gotta write another grant to do that, otherwise it's.
Okay.
Somebody's
Because
on
then
top of
I'm
it.
hearing that the, being project specific beyond the 6 would not be helpful for what? you're
No,
trying to
because I was counting on some of the HPC funds for our training and it didn't happen and then
Okay,
we only got 5 instead of the
Yeah.
15 that we needed and, you know, then with the required training of mandatory training to stay accredited, we, you know, it's professional development too for the new guy that comes on board. It's just all of that. We're all professionals in our, you know, in our senior ages. Everyone brings something to the table. I have chairman of the board, I've got county engineers, I have a master's in strategic marketing and management. Organizational leadership, so all of us bring something to the table, so this is easy for us to do. We just need the city to buy into it, a little bit higher than,
I've been talking to people, we need to put some murals around town,
we're not,
something on the side. of the building.
I'm not ready to be worth $35,000 euros.
Well, we did 2 murals,
Done.
you know, and we threw in a little bit, tiny amount, but most of it came from donors. But I spent a lot of time keeping track of who gave what money, put it in the bank, pay the artists. It's time.
And I spent 120 hours on a grant too, so and 0. I don't know what you guys get.
So
for
what I think would be nice,
that, not asking for that.
what so we're giving you 6, and 6 isn't coming, isn't meeting.
Oh.
If we could get a spreadsheet that shows your shortcomings and your operational, you know, operational side, you know, and then we
It's
can
a
say,
fun
oh, okay, that 4 goes to this, and that helps this group say,
Yeah.
and then the
you know,
other
as
thing,
opposed to kind of nebulous, you know.
like I've envisioned better collaboration, so could we sponsor your website and just have that be on wabasha.org/Main Street, and then we envelop that, and then the port approves vision design, or is there other areas where we can,
That would help our
Design,
donation.
yeah, we use the.
how much are you paying them?
To build it, we paid 1,500,
Okay.
and then now we just do every change and upgrade
It's
is
about-
$30.
Okay, so that's not a lot,
A year.
And we just renewed our 2-year licenses and everything, and,
okay,
you know, and
so I'm just saying, like, instead of being on your own for your website, is that a way to reduce some of the?
that's
operational-
the least of it, you know, it's like
Okay.
rent.
Or you can tack it onto the chamber website too, if you wanted to.
Or you could just have a link to ours, because we needed to have our own. We have so many requirements for organizational,
Okay,
documentation that the front page is Rethos and it's Wabash Main Street and it's National Main Street and it is its own entity, because that's why it wasn't perfectly, you know.
so here's what I think we would ask. I think we're all in agreement that these are Port Authority economic development expenses.
Mhm,
If you guys come next month
mhm.
with kind of a breakdown of why.
We've got an Excel spreadsheet that shows, we've had it for years.
Yeah, shows your shortcomings on that,
And that's just coming forward next year because of the lack of 5 that we won't
and
have.
let's just show it to us, and then that'll help us argue the point. Courtney, I'd ask you to do the same thing,
That's fine.
please, and kind of give us a
And then-
presentation as well about where our money goes and, that
You
just
know,
helps us.
and if there were some trainings that had an economic development purpose for your port role, there's a shortfall this year, I'm totally fine. I know that we have continuing ed for our port members. If there's an ED link, I would be personally in favor to say, okay, yeah, we can reimburse for some training that you got that would benefit your port role or something.
Well, we just had we were told now that we've been a reward recipient again at the state level, we have to attend. Their wrecking ball, you know, event, which is a preservation conference and that awards those who receive their awards. But it's $85 a person and we have to bring the people that won the awards, we're in the magazines, we're the poster child.
We
for-
get into this all the time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then Wabasha was the highlight in the year, and as resilience lives on in Main Street, and it's Wabasha's. Construction project, and there's a 2-pager, nobody gets a 2-page spread. You know, it's Wabasha Main Street's hat on the back again, we're in every magazine, always, we received multiple awards on the state level. And so our designer, Janet Renner's will be receiving another award at the state, and that costs us money. Every time we turn around and go to their meetings, it's $500, food, gas, and then the $80 fee to get in the door, so. That runs it down too, so that training budget, professional development gets to be higher than expected.
Bring all those numbers,
We will,
everybody agree?
thank you.
Let's move on.
We'll put it on the next agenda,
Yes.
then for presentations and, okay.
The answer to the question, cause that goes back to council, is a
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we should probably make an emotion and,
Well, it's just discussion.
okay. So we'll formalize that at the next meeting.
Yes.
Okay. I think the question for me and Tyler is, does that stay on the city's budget for October or we take it off? Okay,
Alright, maybe not.
alright.
Okay, let's move on. Facade improvement grant update.
Yeah, just an update on that, after approving Lakeshore Agency. We'll get that one paid tomorrow, then the only outstanding one is Old Town Mercantile. I reached out to them and they're planning on getting work completed in the next couple of weeks, so. So we should have invoices by mid to late October, so.
So the question was, where's the old town market?
It's Marlon.
Marla's on the corner.
Oh,
Alright, let's go.
Yeah, that's her name.
So,
Perfect.
yeah, they're wrapping up work and should have invoices to us by October, so just wanted to give everybody an update on those.
Did everybody, I didn't see it was attached or anything, but did everybody see the last one?
For dinner, yeah, that's good.
It looks great.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, it's good before and after pictures.
Did that get shared with you guys or you just?
No, yeah, I got it.
Okay,
Did I miss,
Yeah.
I saw it first, I must have.
Yes.
It's on the agenda.
Yeah.
alright.
Alright, moving on, dock signage.
Okay, so this will be a $70 expense for the size that is here, 24 by 36. This was an old discussion, so we wanted some feedback. I definitely think the logo and then welcome should be on their own lines instead of one line, just to make it bigger. But one of the questions was, do we want it to be black to match the future wayfinding signage that's downtown? Or white, so you can, blue, so it can be more readable for the water, and then is 24 by 36 sufficient? So this is an old discussion that we said we want people to know they can park here. And again, is this sufficient? That's what
Well,
I mean-
how many piers, how many signs? Two?
I think we were
Just two?
just thinking one large sign. Yeah,
It's going on the docks.
the Eagle Center docks.
Upstream and downstream, I think, we could.
No time limit or anything, just. They wanted
We'll
to spend.
cross that
half
bridge
their-
when we come to it, yeah.
Yeah,
It says
I mean, it's
8 hour
never full
parking.
anyway.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
It's-
white
it's
ones
either-
would be nice for people.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they're more visible, the white, white,
Okay.
White and blue is.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, you gotta go.
Do you
Bigger.
guys think we should put the welcome though under and make the logo bigger? And
Yes,
size it
sure.
maybe a little
Yeah.
larger?
Well, I tell you what, do you even need that welcome to Wabash?
Well, they know
They do the logo.
It's a big logo, people know, yeah.
I mean, that's why we're city dock, it's a city dock, right?
Well, I think I saw it in Florida that said, welcome to wherever, and I thought, well, what is it trying to communicate? But if you guys are good with just
Would the
the,
Eagle Center wanted to include their tagline, which is Eagle Capital of America?
No.
It's our,
So
No,
many.
but
Okay,
if
but
they
it's-
stop, they're gonna
I
do what they wanna do.
I know Eagle Center's right there.
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah,
I didn't know if they,
I know.
I was reading behind you.
it's a tiny sign, so
Okay.
there's only room for that big logo, which is beautiful,
Yeah.
blue and white.
Logo, city dock for public use.
Yeah.
okay, so no one liked welcome to
No,
Wabash,
no,
okay?
no.
Well.
I didn't mind
it's
it.
hard to read.
Well, they're
Okay.
there, they know they're here. Or maybe
Yes,
they don't.
Courtney.
One thing I'd recommend is doing a QR code to the chamber site.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That way, as soon as they get off the boat, they can scan that QR.
Where they're at.
code, access to the
Mhm.
city.
Good point, I like
would
that.
we have a
Yeah.
note, like scan for businesses or scan,
I don't think you
or
even need
just put
to
it there?
Just
put it there.
what I
It's a city
recommend is
website,
just
yeah.
throw the QR code in there,
Mhm.
I'll show it on download. That's it.
Okay, did you get that?
Somebody's got.
We had two city employees do two different designs, so we're like, we're not gonna pick, we're gonna let the court pick whose design we like more.
And if you do wanna do that, let me know and I'll get you a trackable QR code so you can track what's coming down.
Okay, yeah, we'll take that.
All right, Smith, economic development grant discussion.
So there is a $20,000 grant available. This is again where we have Kathy kind of apply on our behalf. But I just thought what was relevant was, do we wanna reseed the facade grant program with it and try to just find our materials on that and reseed it that way? And it would definitely need a partnership. So I was thinking, Main Street and the chamber as providing a letter of support to say, yeah, let's reseed the facade grant program. I don't think it's the best fit for that housing program, but I haven't heard that more people want, we had facade grants that we had to say no to. So I bet if we republish, more people would take advantage of it.
Includes signage, there's no businesses that are happening and things are happening
Needs
downtown.
signage, yeah, so,
Yeah, and so maybe HPC would need a letter of support too, because they're in the district.
yeah. And this is where I will say, like, I rely on our partners to help us market these, but, so anyways, we. What is it saying? It says all grants require 100% match, at least 25% cash. Oh, I didn't see that.
Cash or in kind usually.
Does it say, okay, so 25, we could probably show in kind our time administering the grant. But then 25% of that would have to be cash, so. What is $4,000 or something? I mean, I think we could probably come up with $4,000, but. Do we wanna wait on the facade grant or see if we get this money, do it again?
What was the need? How many people did we turn away?
2 or 3.
As I thought, 2 maybe that comes to mind, but.
Yeah, that was probably a year ago.
So I think,
We did it.
I mean. Jeremy's place looks really good, right? So there's that momentum again, people interested. If. You apply and we get it, great. I think we'll get it.
It says new or existing projects or programs will be prioritized, so we would meet that. It says they had a list of what it can't be for capital funding. Real
Right.
estate investments, fixed assets, equipment, campaigns or endowments, so. Oh, ineligible, I think it's worth asking them, maybe we could ask them. And, cause I don't necessarily it's kind of capital funding, but it's basically repainting and signage, so. I mean,
Okay.
well, let's ask if it qualifies and.
Are we ever gonna get any wayfinding signs downtown?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be coming, what occurred is, I think we thought it was gonna just get done with the street project and it was not, and so now it has to get in line with. Tony's list, and some of it is actually going back to the Bolton and Bank information and saying that which sign goes where, so let me check on that and I'll get back to you guys.
And I walk downtown and there's I'm stopped all the time, where is Slippery's? The number one question, but they ask other questions too, so I think some wayfinding signs that way, that way.
It's not gonna say where Slippery's is though.
That's the
Yeah.
problem, that's what we need too.
Well, that's what the
Yeah,
kiosk
what-
downtown is, you are here kind of thing, you are.
Well, you gotta get out of your car and
Right, but the signage I was on the sign committee and we're placing them at the strategic corners to get you to campgrounds, library, bathrooms. Marinas, it's pretty basic, but there's a lot of
economic
information.
development would be nice to some of the major attractions.
Yeah,
There wasn't a debate if we can include all the businesses or not, and we just felt like as businesses go in and out of business would be in a.
And I'm working on that on the.
Public
digital
library.
side.
Okay.
you doing the business directory?
Have the vendors.
We're doing a virtual map,
Oh, good, good.
and then so it's got all the businesses on it,
Sure.
their information and all that kind of stuff.
I like that, we use that a lot when we travel. whatever is available.
Yep.
Makes a big
Physical
difference.
map.
Yeah,
Okay, so we'll apply for it and
Okay.
if we're eligible.
We need a motion for that.
Hmm, I think we're good.
we're good. Administrators report.
Okay, so with the barge terminal, today, me, Emily and Sean met the director for waterways. Came down from Missouri to visit with us and we showed him our vacant piece of land and said, hopefully when you come back in 2 years, we'll have something here. I did bother Lucas and he said that the DNR meeting with the the directors to approve our permit was supposed to happen last Thursday. It got canceled because not everyone could come. That will be rescheduled for this Thursday. And I said, Lucas, can I call you on Friday? And he is feeling once again positive that it's going to get approved. So after that, we are still, I was on the phone with our grant administrator and we're finalizing our grant agreement. I think I think we're looking on track to get this started next spring. And in the meantime, because we knew of the need to continue to improve our financial position to pay for our costs for the project out of cash. The Army Corps had a canceled project and we were successfully able to request that they hire us to do a fall haul. So like I said earlier, I think we will improve our financial position before the end of the year again. And then once Tyler pays the $250,000 bill, all of our major engineering costs should be paid up. Let me confirm that. And then we'll be looking at a balance that we have available to invest in the project. So I think we're looking good financially, personally. And then Highway 60. A lot is happening with that. I have not gotten any bills for the engineering work yet. But you guys are gonna be included in conversations there. They're asking me for things all the time, and then tomorrow they're gonna do 6 more borings at the athletic field that we agreed to pay for that. So that work starts tomorrow. You should see people out at the old athletic field doing the borings. And then I mentioned the $275,000 grant for the tier 2 program. So. Yeah, I think the biggest thing they asked for my help with this week is that proving that we own all the land. So it looks like not everything was actually recorded. So there's different pieces that we have to kind of prove that we own. And then they're gonna be doing a noise survey and testing noise from, I think, determining how loud the sounds are gonna be from the road. So they are gonna need to set up microphones on people's property, so we're gonna just tell people. We're gonna be.
Maybe not
doing noise.
to the bottom, you mean?
Yeah, it's for the
Well, there's plenty
environment.
of it on top.
Yeah.
That goes out the whole town, so it's.
Yeah, no, it's gonna kind of prove that the future road will not create noise nuisance for the people that live around there, so.
Well, it's actually eliminating the people
It's
living around,
further
it's
away
avoiding
from the
people, but
Yeah, it's. further
that's an
away.
easy one to get around.
Yeah, so noise letter, so
No
I'm
paint
supposed
dripping
to,
on the
for staff are gonna be dropping off a noise letter with people. That they're September 24th will be placing temporary sound monitoring equipment.
When there's no traffic in the park, you're gonna put.
There's no traffic, there's. Yeah.
Well, I don't understand,
I don't
but
either.
it's a noise analysis, so
got
it's
it.
all required. I'm
State.
very happy, I get updates from them all the time, they're
Okay.
working on it, so,
Apparently that's state, that's not, that,
Yeah.
okay,
right?
alright, I don't know what
Okay.
this is for, I just know it's a noise analysis, so.
Alright.
And then, I don't know if you've noticed, but Public Works took down the warming house and took down the hockey rink too. Cause you guys approved that
Yep.
as well, so, yeah.
Pretty awesome.
And then just with Bigelow Homes and Cooley Way, this is one of our last meetings with Kathy. I think my takeaway from this tour was that Bigelow Homes has 2 finished. Twin homes listed for $380,000 and they have not gotten a lot of. Tours and they haven't sold. So what they're doing across the street is they built 2 more side by side duplexes. And they're gonna side them so they look finished on the outside, but they're not gonna finish them on the inside till they sell their first ones. And then on Pooley Way, he's gonna have 3 single family homes or split level homes for sale. He's doing those at $350,000. So I think they both expressed, and that's why we created the grant, that all of them have a lot of money in carrying costs. That now they have probably a loan out and now they're sitting and waiting and hoping these sell. So I think for me, it was a bit of cautionary that. Like, we probably don't wanna go, that still there's just a lot of risk and I think we wanna see what we've got. That's new selling and successful before we would, I think, work on a 30 house subdivision in Wabasha or something like that, so. None of them felt worried, but I definitely can see that, like for Bigelow Homes, they're not gonna continue to build to the ones they have, so. They were very nice on the, I'm looking at Tyler, he wasn't there, very nice on the inside, I think, they're just. The twin doors are not single level homes, so they did get a lot of requests for that, and they, because of the size of the lot, they couldn't do a single level home. So yeah, someone wanting to buy a new home in Wabasha. Send them their way. The other thing Bigelow Homes said was challenging is that the Eagles Basin subdivision is all subsidized land lots they got for really cheap. And so now their new homes represent the full cost of actual development.
Sure.
So people are seeing what's for sale over at Eagles Basin and it's like, why am I paying 60,000 more? And it's like, cause that was basically the subsidized area, and this is actually the full price of development. So I think a couple of things as we roll out a grant program that we think about, I guess, is it kind of makes it difficult then in the future when someone is trying to build without those funds available.
Very good, thank you. Eagle Center update and watch, I suspect that we'll get that next month.
Yeah, me and Emily attended a meeting on the renovations and trying to help them make sure they spend the rest of their state funding.
$2, yeah.
Yeah. Who's from board members?
Anything from anybody, comments?
Well, I have a question on the noxious weeds across the Riverview Cemetery, the railroad doesn't mow. And the county owns that whole corner now, where the pipeline goes through, but I just asked finally for Dietrich to do it, they did a real nice job.
Did they?
I'm mowing the 6-foot high noxious weeds, cause it's, so detrimental to the cemetery, along with the new, homeowner there with all the junk, which I hope something's being done on that. One other question is that when the pipeline went through, that project's done, when does the silt fence come down? Because the silt is there, but the weeds are 6 feet tall between there and a nice bean field. What, can we get after him to say that should be taken down? It's all seeded and done.
Yeah.
They'll be the Army Corps, and I think actually. That project, that pipe project is not quite done yet.
It is,
So,
okay, well, that was my question.
Yeah,
So we're
so,
waiting for their pipe to be manufactured. It had to be special ordered from the Netherlands. And it's supposed to be here.
Is that to get to the dredge
Yeah,
itself?
yeah.
Okay,
and then,
but the inner workings is done, I mean, where the silt fence is, but
Oh.
the project isn't done.
yeah, so I think once the project's done, it'll all come down.
Can you help me remember this and we can just send the Army Corps an email?
Yeah, send them a reminder then.
Alright,
What else?
next meeting.
Oh, yep, next meeting, Tuesday, October 21st. I will also mention, we are going to a Port Association meeting on, Thursday. This week,
Mhm.
continue to try to, get our name, our presence in front of everybody. The hope is the Army Corps will be there and DNR will be there. The last meeting like this, we were pretty fortunate, ended up sitting next to some people that really kind of mattered. So it was good for us, I think they continue, it'll be a benefit to us to go, anyway, so that's that.
And then, do we want to skip the special meeting or try to have a special? Meeting?
We'll call
Okay.
it. And that's it, anything else? Hearing none, motion to adjourn,
Move.
thank you very much, all in favor,